Welcome back, everybody, to another short video of what's going on. I am your host, Jacob Carlson, and today, in this short video, we're going to be talking, of course, about UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Why, in this case? Particularly three reasons. The first reason, I had my first UFO sighting out here one day. It was dark out, I went to check the mail, and just as I was making my way back inside, just below the tree line, I saw three orange lights in a row right next to each other, and I could not easily explain what these things were. And the next day, I look at the same spot in broad daylight. There was nothing right there that could have caused those three lights in the first place. So, for all intents and purposes, I had my first UFO sighting. So that was a big deal for me because I'm a big fan of this phenomenon. I'm a big fan of UFOs and the mysteries of the unknown and the paranormal and the supernatural and so on and so forth. And so that's a big deal. And that's the first reason. The second reason is that if you've been reading the news, if you've been watching the news, if you've been on social media, then you know that our military shot down three unknown objects over the course of this past week now. The first object they shot down over Alaska. The second object they shot down over the Yukon Territory in Canada. And the third and last object so far was shot down over the Great Lakes, over Lake Huron, just off the coast of Michigan. Now, to this day, they do not know what these things are and how they were able to do the things that they were doing. All that we know is that they are basically UFOs. Unidentified because they don't know what these things are at first. Flying because they're spotted up in the air, up in the atmosphere, staying afloat in a way that nobody can easily explain. And objects because they're real, they're physical, they're tangible, and our pilots were able to see it before they were able to shoot it down. So that's the second reason to talk about UFOs. The third and final reason to talk about them is because National Geographic aired a documentary series back on Monday, February the 13th, just before Valentine's Day, about UFOs, investigating the unknown. They aired 2 episodes of the series so far. The first episode talked about a secret Pentagon program by the name of AATIP, AATIP, or the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, headed by Luis Elizondo, and then, of course, broke the story in the New York Times back in December of 2017. And basically, the episode talked about what the events that led up to that New York Times article, and basically how people are talking about UFOs ever since then as well. Then the second episode talked about a UFO incident that occurred out in Stephenville, Texas back in 2008, and how the entire world flocked to Stephenville to get the story on what it is they saw in the sky that night, all those years ago. And basically, that's what they talked about in that episode, but also in the same episode, they talked about a secret UFO program created by the U.S. Air Force by the name of the Project Blue Book, headed by then Dr. J. Allen Hynek. His job was to basically investigate and, at the same time, debunk UFO sightings that were reported all across the United States. And much to their credit, it worked. People stopped talking about UFOs for a couple of decades until back in the 90s when people started to bring up UFOs, aliens, and flying saucers and all kinds of conspiracy theories related to it in the first place. So basically, that's it on that. UFOs, for all that we think they are and what they're definitely not, they've been a phenomenon for thousands of years. People have been seeing things in the skies that they could not explain. Whether it was angels, or whether it was gods, or whether it was dragons, or even today UFOs for that matter. Nobody seems to really know what these things are. And it's one of the most enduring mysteries of our time and of all time. So basically, if you had a UFO sighting, if you're interested in this phenomenon, please let me know down below in the comments section. I'd like to know if I'm definitely not alone in this subject matter, and hopefully you don't think I'm completely crazy. I already think I am, but I hope you don't think I am either. So basically, with that being said, my name is Jacob Carlson. This has currently been a mysteries update to what's going on. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And as usual, I'll see you in the next couple of videos. Okay, bye-bye.